This is a book of corpses that will scare the ghosts to death when they read it. Just write down the death of the enemy in the book. This book will make your dreams come true in the way you want to silence the enemy. And this evil book is hidden in the library of Bangkok High School. Lena is a vengeful student for reporting Dura for cheating on her exams, so she got a grudge. The same day, she was locked up in the library. Just as Dula is about to strike, Annie, the administrator, appeared to stop her and kicked Dura and the others out. As a token of appreciation, Lena offered to help organize the books. Annie could see her little heart, so she agreed to stay and help. As Lena was organizing the bookshelves, suddenly she noticed a hole in the ceiling. A disgusting liquid was seeping through it. When she was very confused, a book fell from the sky. It landed right behind Lena. Curious, she picked it up. A few deep scratches remained on the cover. What Lena didn't know was, this is the book of corpses that the ghosts are afraid to read. At that moment, Annie suddenly appeared, asked Lena if she could come back tomorrow to help. After receiving an affirmative answer, Annie turned around and left satisfied. Lena put the book on the shelf. What she didn't know was that bad luck had come to haunt her. Early the next morning, Dura and the others blocked Lena again and took her into the abandoned toilet and beat her.
มึงเกือบทำให้กูโดนไล่ออกละแต่ขอโทษทีนะกูไม่ไปไหนง่ายๆหรอกกูจะอยู่เล่นกับมึงไปนานๆเลยแหละ
After beating Lena up, Dura was still not satisfied, so she was locked in the toilet. Lena frantically smashed the door, hoping that someone would come and get her out. But suddenly something strange happened. There was a creaking sound on the door. It sounded like someone was scratching the door with their fingernails. Just as Lena was at a loss for words, a bloody pencil rolled out of the toilet. This made Lena even more confused. The next second, something horrible happened. Lena found a pencil with blood in the toilet. Just when she was filled with confusion, a ghost suddenly appeared in the mirror. Fortunately, Annie came to hear the sound. Lena was able to wake up from the illusion, but it was all so real again. Annie held Lena's trembling hand tightly and told her not to worry. She would do her best to help her. Lena was very grateful for this. When she got home, she found the book of corpses in her school bag. It was probably put there by Annie. Out of curiosity, Lena began to look through its contents. She realized that it contained a story of revenge. The more she read, the more fascinated she became. It was as if everything was happening right before her eyes. It turned out that the owner of the book was named Ploy. She was a lonely, self-absorbed person. She never had any real friends. On the day of the holiday, he received an invitation from his classmates to come to the toilet. They had prepared an elaborate birthday cake for her, even though it was in the toilet. But Ploy was still very happy, because she finally had a friend. But when she made a wish and blew out the candles, but they smashed the cake directly on Ploy's face, and there was a dead mouse inside the cake. What made Ploy desperate was that they locked the door. No matter how desperate she cried out, they left without a backward glance. Ploy scratched her nails. The door left her despair and resentment. In order to survive, she had to pick up the dead rats on the floor, but it was still a miserable life. Ploy soon became crazy. The seeds of hatred took root and sprouted. Before she died, she wrote down all her grievances in a book and cursed those who had bullied her. Knowing the truth, Lena returned to the real world, and Ploy's spirit came with her. Lena thought she was hallucinating, so she didn't think about it. The next day, she went to the library. She asked Annie about Ploy. Annie told her Ploy had been found decomposed. The police, based on what she left behind, arrested the students. The weird thing is, they killed each other in their cells. The way they died was just like in Ploy's book. Lena understood what was going on. To get back at Dura and the others, she wrote everything down, only to have Dura find out. This also completely angered Dura. No surprise, Lena was bullied by them again. Anger and hatred flared up in Lena's heart. Just then, a ghostly hand pushed the book of corpses in front of her. Hatred made Lena lose her mind. She wrote in the book words of revenge against Dura. As a result, at night, Dura had a real accident. She raised her right hand high in the air and then frantically hit herself in the face. Lena watched all this quietly because she knew this is when the ghost of Ploy was helping herself. Dura had it coming to her, but that wasn't all. Dura suddenly fell to her knees. Ploy stomped on her back. He made her apologize to Lena. Lena tried to stop her, but Ploy's ghost pushed her down. Then, in front of her, she made Dula's head move. Lena panicked at this point. She hurriedly opened her book bag. She tried to find the book of corpses and rewrite the ending, but she found that the book was missing. So she rushed to the library to look for it. But she found an even more terrible secret. It turns out that Annie had also left her vengeful handwriting on it. It's all a conspiracy on her part. While Lena was at a loss for words, a body suddenly fell from the ceiling. Lena was so scared that she screamed, because he knew the body. It was the long-lost male teacher. It was then that Annie revealed her true face, and she was one of the bullies. It turns out that when Annie first came to school, she wanted to be a good teacher, but she was ostracized by the other teachers for no reason. She was eventually assigned to the school library. The man was the first person who would talk to him. Annie thought she had met her soulmate, but she didn't realize that he wanted her body. To get revenge, Annie wrote everything down in the book of corpses, and then Ploy actually killed the man, and she paid a terrible price. Ploy's ghost had taken over her body. Suddenly, Annie's body began to convulse, and then, a pair of ghostly hands came out of her mouth, directly tore her body. And Lena, whose wish came true, could not escape. Ploy took over her body on the spot. At the end of the story, a girl with glasses enters the library, and she is greeted by the evil book of corpses. On the surface, Ploy's killing is still going on, but the reality is that bullying still exists in schools. It's a heavy topic. There are countless real-life examples. I only hope that this kind of thing will not happen again.